Hello, everyone. This is your public access coordinator for NorCam. That's North Reading Public Access. My name is Phil Healy, and with me I have the government access coordinator,
Jason Smith. How's it going?
and we're at episode 3, I believe, for the NorCam Weekly podcast. Which I apologize. I mean, we might even change the name, but it's just what it is right now, because simply, it's our little weekly newsletter in podcast form.
Exactly.
And we started it, and this is the third actual podcast on our network, the Norcast, which once again you can check out the logo that Jason here designed, and it's a nice rendition of our old logo, as we discussed on early, I think the first and second. We'll always talk about it. It'll always be something to kill time. We were not approached, but we talked to one of your not newly elected, but I guess regular school committee, that's less than newly elective. No one really lost because I guess everyone who went through the elections was, pretty much everyone had a slot to fill.
Yeah.
Or there were enough people to fill it, and there was a write-in, I believe, for school committee. There were two slots available, 2 people on a ballot, and 1 write-in candidate, who only got, I think 22 votes, the write-in. And there were just 404 blank, which it doesn't look good. Well, just they probably forgot who that person was. You can check it all on the NorCam, or not NorCam, I'm sorry. Well, actually, on our Facebook page, you could check it out.
You can see the next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting, which is this coming Monday, the May 11th, at I believe it's a Hood school they're hosting.
Maybe a little. I have to check my notes.
It's either the Little or the Hood. The school committee meeting will be held. They're going on the road. But the point is, one of the regular school committee members was going to be on the show, potentially, but it was like a last-minute thing. But they expressed interest of being on the show. We're talking about Mel Webster. We're not talking totally out of school. But he couldn't be here today. But he said he'd love to be on, and we'll have him on eventually. And if you or anyone you know would like to be on, just a resident of the town, it doesn't have to be a school committee or board of selectmen member or anything.
Hopefully we can get one of our board of director members to come on here and kind of chit-chat about what goes on here. But
I would love to get Agatha on here.
Yeah, she would be great.
She's a firecracker. She'd tell you what you want, and she'd tell you anything. Not necessarily what you want to hear, but she'll tell you. She'll give it to you. But yeah, so what we were talking about earlier before we went on, all right, so what are we going to throw out there?
We're out of stuff. We're out of material.
Already, episode 3, it's done.
But closing this out. This is the series finale.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a good ride. But these aren't meant to be, and this doesn't have to be super long. It could be just a couple minutes.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Jason, tell me what you were telling me, the basic things that we can get out of the way.
What was top of the list? I mean, as far as government access coordinator goes, the channel status quo, new selectman meeting, new in the fight, cycling out old programs, cycling them in. I don't know if you have anything new on the public side.
I'm trying to think. We did have All-Town Chorus, I think I said last week, that was going in. Anything, we're on week 2, or I guess I can call it week 1 of the 2-week cycle I do, or the binary cycle I do. And this one is the more program heavy, as you know, from our log notes. There's 15 different shows that are being replaced, and they either are going through series, like something called Let's Talk About Hearing, or BJ Perez show / Tapping Into His Treasures, which is kind of a funny, it's not funny. Well, it wasn't meant to be funny. It's just a spiritual program where a woman literally films herself in her living room, and sometimes in the kitchen, just reading from scripture and just talking about what it means to her. And she's very nice, and she sends us material every week. I literally have stacks upon stacks of stuff, which they pretty much go new every week.
Good.
And it's nice. So new stuff like that goes. We get stuff we get programs from all around the country and from local stuff. Oh, we did get, Heidi Hastings, one of the mothers of one of our video production club members, Jackson Hastings, brought in, and this is kind of the fruits of our labor, she brought in a taped track meet.
Oh, awesome.
So, it was pretty great, and I think it's varsity. Nice. Believe it's varsity. And they only have a couple left, she was saying, but we had gone to, we had talked to, I think, John Bernard, and then we just called the athletic director of North Reading High School. Mm-hmm. I forget the gentleman's name at the moment. I apologize. It's really bad of me. Really bad form. It was very nice, very cool. We met. We talked on the phone a couple times, and we met in person. And he knew what the score was too, because Rob, when he first came in to the scene with Norcam, I guess they talked too. So it's just like one of those things where you always have to refresh these relationships. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll just put out an email to coaches and everyone and faculty, and they'll send it out to family members." And he knew the deal. Like, we know that you guys at NORCAM aren't going to do it. It's like anyone they can find to do it. So Heidi got the email.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she has her own camera. She's like, "Yeah, here you go." And it's fine. It's good because there's like an announcer telling you. I'm like, "Oh, how will we know?" But there's an announcer. I think it's actually the track coach who's announcing. Which is kind of crazy. Most of the time, I find that all these high school coaches have like 8 different little jobs they do within what they're doing. So, but it's nice. That'll be going. Yeah,
That's good. No, and I like to see that. Different volunteers and stuff like that. This week's been busy with like volunteers. I mean, Alders Gate picked up their stuff today.
Yeah.
We got the stuff back from James Dillon, the young kid who
Yeah.
is awesome. He's like a little firecracker. He just wants to do.
He just wants to record stuff, and I think we talked about it. He did some stuff at Apple Fest, 2004 fall. So if you want to check out who our good buddy James Dillon is, he's the nutty firecracker kid with gumption.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe him.
He's great, and he's got like that twinkle in his eyes, like I'm ready to go.
Even if he doesn't know exactly what he's doing, he won't let that on. He'll just go for it and jump in head first, which is awesome. So
yeah, that's a great way of putting it too, because like he has a great attitude about it. Like, we're just doing it.
I already know.
Oh, I know.
You don't know how to do this?
He actually is very tech savvy too.
Yeah.
To be fair, and
Yeah.
his camera movements actually were pretty good with
he's
the
good
stuff.
for somebody so young.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he's like a second grade or something, maybe a little older. But the Dillon's great people.
Trying to think who else grabbed stuff this week.
We had Mark Meal.
Mark Meal grabbed
from the senior center covered an event at the library. I think Thomas Park. I think it's a gentleman from around the area who talked about the genealogy of North Reading at as far as the historical society. And we Tom's been in here before, and we're trying to get him and the rest of the historical society to take a class, and they're always talking about it. But it was nice, yeah. Mark did a thing, and Mark volunteers for us all the time. Whether we know he's just being dry-witted about it and just being like, I hate it, or just, either way he does it, he's always great about it.
And, Also, you and Dave went up and did some cooking show stuff. So
we did Agatha's Cooking Show, episode 3, which we probably next week will get into heavy editing. Because we spent 2 days. I was there on Tuesday, and Dave and I went on Wednesday.
bless you.
No, it was more of a burp.
Oh.
I could have went in. I did do that today.
Yeah.
I did try to hold the sneeze back. And I don't know if you people out there, you ever try to hold your sneeze. And I was typing, and I'm like, I want to get the sentence out. And I just breakneck
like,
speed.
oh no, it's coming out.
Yeah, it's nothing I can do. So breakneck, I turn to the left, and I just barely missed my computer. And just go into my, your armpit. Or whatever, your arm butt, or however you want to put it. However that goes. But that was good. And Agatha, once again, one of our board members,
great.
I love her. And I mean this as affectionately as I can. She's very abrasive and in a beautiful way. And she always thinks I'm making fun of her. I'm like, no, I'm just adequately trying to describe like who you are. And I'm just like,
On-screen professional.
Yeah. That's pretty much, she's very good. And she's like, are we ready? I'm like, no, it takes time. And she had her buddy Matt, who was a North Reading High School alum, Matt Spina. Or I think it's spelled Spina. S-P-N-A. There goes my Boston accent, or New England accent going. Spina. Don't ask me to talk about my Aunt Martha, because that's when it comes out. Try to hide it as best you can, kids. Go out into the real world. Try to mask it. No, but it was nice. Hopefully we'll do maybe more with her after the summer, because things get real busy during the summer, and it's pretty hot in the kitchen in the summer. But and you were around here, and you, I don't know, there were a whole bunch of people, people in here. Today, this week was pretty busy.
I felt like it's been super busy.
We had, because I had to go back and forth when I was on Wednesday. I went to go shoot it. On Tuesday, you had Ashley O'Neill from Spindler and O'Neill for Price's House. Yeah, she was editing her episode 10.
This week, like 4 or 5 times this week. So.
Yeah, and I think she's coming back Monday because she's never done it alone.
Yeah.
She's always had one of her other compadres who I guess isn't with them anymore at their offices. So, but they're good too. So expect an episode from that, and Face the Facts actually recorded Wednesday
I
night.
missed that one.
Because your normal Wednesday schedule was kind of thrown out.
It to go to the Sox game early, so I came in early that day, so I could skip out a little earlier.
It was a nice day to go see a game.
It was all right. Oh. Yeah, the results could have been a little better, but
well, do what you can.
It was still a nice night. But.
Yeah, no, it was good, and not that much going on except Nick Face, who actually used to have the show in Reading, and just he wasn't doing it there anymore, and then he just came to us.
Here and we felt like we could accommodate him right in the studio, and
it was great. But he didn't have his Fenway.
The backdrop?
No, he didn't have the Fenway backdrop. I was kind of depressed about that.
Well, it is kind of a whole challenge to kind of put that up every time, which I give him credit for. Just to give him his show some uniqueness to it. But
yeah, and that's kind of one of the bigger things we're missing here, and I'm sure people have critiqued it. It's just like well, what do you have back there? We don't have much to dress it up. Bring your own plants. It's like it's public access. He has a great fake Fenway wall for a set behind him. And I was noticeably depressed when I didn't see him bring it. I'm like, oh. He's like, oh, yeah, I had to bring all these. He brings his own crew. It's like one of the best thing as a public access coordinator you can look for. Like, he brings his own crew. I pretty much set up the cameras and stuff, and then he comes in. Yeah. They run the show, and they're out, and then Nick comes in to edit like a day or two later. So.
Did I see you guys got food, too?
For Agatha.
Oh, no. I thought there was
I put them both together.
Oh, okay.
It was just, it was very confusing.
Nick Face brought you guys a deli platter.
That would have been great. That would have been very unexpected.
Here.
We do.
Let that be known.
We do. Yeah, people. Not necessarily for bribery, but if you were to bribe us, food is an easy way to do it. But we do actually. The senior centers are really great. They'll have like a breakfast or something. Be like, hey, come. Which they're having an ice cream social on Monday, on the 11th, I think. At 1 p.m. So we might shut down for half an hour. We're going to just walk on over. And but they are celebrating 43 years of community service, which is astonishing. Yeah. And they're really good too. And that's, once again, Mark Meal, one of our members, works at Senior Center. And we do stuff with them. We have a bunch of programs and a bunch of things we do. And I'm trying to get Mary Prenny, who's the head of Senior Center there, to get her back on. Or get her to do the show from Lori Sweetser. I apologize, but I think Lori was the former host of Senior Focus, which we had. And we still have episodes of her without Lori. But I want to try to get Mary to get more of that going. But it's been actually, as much as we said we didn't have anything to talk about, it's been a busy week.
It's been pretty. I don't realize it did fly by this week, so.
And the Board of Selectmen meeting, which is actually very short, and I felt bad, as I said to you, because you had like a 4.5-hour one last week.
I was fighting off the flu in a 4-hour Selectmen meeting.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I felt like a jerk, because I'm like, just because it was the first time we dealt with the new equipment for the school committee. And, adjust the mic there. And then you were like, no, I'd rather take
it was just
Board of Selectmen.
I'm already fighting off the flu. I'm like, I don't know if I can troubleshoot something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I wasn't fighting it.
Let me go with what I'm comfortable with, and it worked.
It's probably for the best, because I did set up that, I was there for a good amount of time. The meeting was not long, but I was there for a while, too. And, if you were going to do that by yourself, that wouldn't be the best idea. Because it is, I don't know if for those of you who don't know, haven't seen our new setup, at school committee, it is literally like a trunk full of equipment.
Like a roadie case.
A roadie case, to be more accurate. And it's heavy, but it's it's got wheels. You can get around. And that's so I'm trying to think of anything else that happened this week, but there's been a lot. And we've been running around. We're trying to actually get our educational channel is up, and we think we're going to program it within this month. In May, and it is May now, which is kind of astonishing. It's been really nice out, too.
Yeah.
Today's a little chillier, but...
it was like 80?
Yeah, it was like 79, 80, yeah. It was beautiful. And right now I think it's 57 or something, which is...
A little cooler.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous if you think of a 22-degree shift. And I'm thinking, am I dying? Am I, do I have some disease? I really thought I had something terminal, but, no, it is kind of chilly comparatively when you go from 79 to 57. But it's been a busy week. It's next week will be even busier. Well, maybe not busier, but it'll be pretty busy. We have people coming in next week to
There's
edit
always
too.
surprises, so.
Yeah, which we welcome.
Yeah.
It's always
Definitely.
nice. Yeah. And I'm trying to. Anything else you're looking at? I need to say.
Like down the road, I mean, I know we haven't even put anything down on paper yet of what it is exactly, but we toyed with the idea of doing something for the summer with like kids, like some kind of kids camp, a small group, like kind of like the beta program for this, because
Yep.
we've not done it before, but we like getting kids in here. It's always, especially like when we get the tours of the Cub Scouts
yep.
or whatever. It's always fun dealing with them. So I don't know, maybe like a middle school range. Again, nothing's in stone yet. So
Yeah, we were just talking about it last week at one of our weekly meetings. So hopefully we get to it and it works out. I think it'll be real fun. We actually tried to do something about a year or two ago too, but it just never. I think interest just wasn't there, and we just end of August.
Yeah.
We weren't going for it, but we're thinking maybe a session or two, maybe 3 days for a week and a couple hours. But one of the things too, like they can just hang out too.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things. A parent like, all right, here you go, you're at NorCam for like 4 hours. Like, all right, and we can just show them how to use Photoshop and do other stuff too. So not just editing.
Yeah.
And so it could be a lot of there we go, some stuff's going on outside. But yeah, no, that's further down the line, and. We might have another podcaster. I actually have to message them, the person who...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I got to let him know. There's a gentleman, I think, from Salem, or where is he from? I think it was from... Was he woman?
The notes on the Facebook.
Yeah, it was, but we have to get back to him about, because he was interested in podcasting. And for anyone out there, if you're interested in doing anything, it could be just a one-time thing where you just want to be like, hey, I just want to tell you about this one thing. Through this podcast will take 5 minutes, even if you want to do a video and audio of it, whatever works. Because primarily we deal with visuals, but we're multimedia faceted. But yeah, that's I guess the one last thing I can say for programming, because I'm very happy about it. I get a lot of my movies that I play at like midnight movies or into the AM, like The Wasp Woman. Or like old horror movies, or like The Mummy versus Frankenstein, or actually I don't think Mummy ever won. It's like I think Frankenstein versus the Werewolf, which is pretty fun. But there are a lot of old movies that are don't have copyright protection on them, so you can play it. They're what we call public domain. So there's a bunch of them I always put on, and there's a Fritz Lang film called M, which has Peter Lorre in it. It's pretty dark. It's like I think 54 is the year, but I'm going to be playing that this week. I'm kind of excited about that because it's a pretty sleazy movie. It's a film noir, and there's a film noir with Mickey Rooney in it playing this week, which I don't know if you know Mickey Rooney at all.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah, so you're probably familiar with the name. But he definitely isn't seen... Oh, I know he'd been in a whole bunch of movies from the 40s and, I think 30s through 50s, even after that. I think he recently passed away within the past couple of years, but... I would not think of him as a tough guy or in a film noir piece, but here we are. So there are a couple of those that will play this week.
Nice.
And played last week. And, hopefully some more Boston Derby games coming up, too.
Sweet.
But, yeah, anything else?
That covers it, basically, for me, so...
Yeah, that's longer than we should have been. All right, well, thank you for listening. And this has been Phil Healy, Public Access Coordinator for NorCam, and...
Jason Smith, Government Access Coordinator.
And we'll see you next week.